for 2 combat communications groups and air base wings. In addition, Sergeant Lang's expertise was utilized to rewrite the new career field, education and training plan, and technical school course material servicing 240 communications officers and 915 airmen yearly. Finally, Sergeant Lang aided the validation of the Air Force's Next Generation Deployable Tactical Air Navigational Requirements contract and ensured timely delivery of 19 active duty and Air National Guard systems valued at $28 million. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Lang culminate in a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Effective 31 March 2011, Master Sergeant Derek G. Lang is relieved from active duty, 33rd Combat Communications Squadron, Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma. Retired effectively 1 April 2011 in accordance with Air Force Instruction 36-3203 in the grade of Master Sergeant by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Major Gustafson will now present the retirement certificate. It reads, Certificate of Retirement. It reads, Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Master Sergeant Derek G. Lang, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of April 2011. Signed, Nathan A. Schwartz, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force, and Colonel David S. Babiak, Commander, 3rd Combat Communications Group. Mrs. Lang, please come forward to place the retirement pin. The lapel pin is worn on the left lapel of civilian attire as recognition of a retired Air Force member. Major Gustafson will now present a certificate of appreciation to Master Sergeant Lang from the Commander-in-Chief. It reads, Certificate of Appreciation. For service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Master Sergeant Derek G. Lang, I extend to you my personal thanks and a sincere appreciation of the grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. Major Gustafson will now present a certificate of appreciation to Master Sergeant Lang from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. It reads, Certificate of Appreciation from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force I am proud to join your friends and family in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Air Force. Master Sergeant Derek G. Lang, the achievements and contributions you have made throughout your career are indicative of the core values of our great service. Your retirement is well deserved, but your selfless contributions will be sorely missed. On behalf of all airmen, thank you for your faithful and devoted service to our nation. As this chapter of your life closes and a new one begins, I hope that years ahead are filled with more great memories and continued success. Signed, James A. Roy, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Major Gustafson will now present a certificate of appreciation to Master Sergeant Lang's spouse, Ms. Dina Lang, from the Chief of Staff of the Air Force. It reads, Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Air Force. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Mrs. Dina Lavon Lang for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Signed, Nathan A. Schwartz, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force, and Colonel David S. Babiak, Commander, 3rd Combat Communications Group. No, not yet. One more. Major Gustafson will now present a certificate of appreciation to Master Sergeant Lang's spouse, Ms. Dina Lang, from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. It reads, Certificate of Appreciation from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. On behalf of all Air Force airmen and their families, the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force presents this certificate of appreciation to Mrs. Dina Lavon Lang. I join your spouse, family, and friends in thanking you for the numerous contributions and sacrifices you made in support of our United States Air Force. Your dedication gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service in defense of our nation. Signed, James A. Roy, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Captain Fiddler will now present Master Sergeant Lang with the retirement shadow box.
One thing, I've only been here for 2 months, and I called up to the 33rd to get some information, and Captain Morris talked to you and then Kindergarten about what I'm going to be doing, what I was going to take over, and they couldn't express enough how great the superintendent was, Derek Lang, would be to help me out. Growing up, my thought and my future way of running a successful flight is to use my senior NCOs. I came in, met Derek, he stood up from his desk, and I continued to look up and realize, holy cow, this is the man who's going to help me get this flight squared away. I was just up visiting for a little bit just to check out the area, and then one of his party comments was, well, by the time you get here, I'll be retiring 2 weeks later. So I was like, great, this is really going to help me out. But it's a happy day and it's a sad day. Sad day, we're going to lose a great senior NCO and all his contributions to the Air Force and to the troops. He passed on his wisdom. As you can see, you've made quite the impression on the flight and on the squadron. And your 24 years of service. 86 you started. I was 5 years old. She just finished potty training, I believe. So, but on a happy note, your wife, I'm sure, has quite the list of stuff for you to do when you get home. So now I'll help you out. But in order to capture 24 years of service, it would take truckloads. But the way we can do it today is to present you with a shadow box to show from the beginning to the end of your accomplishments in the Air Force.
Master Sergeant Kelly will now present Master Sergeant Lang with a gift from the members of the Airfield Systems Flight.
Well, everyone who's been through our office has seen we had a poster on the wall of Airman Magazine, and it looked a lot like our superintendent. So we thought we'd give him a permanent picture. The one in our office had a post-it note that said Lang. Just to remind you of your time here in the definitely big shoes to fill, like size 15.
The traditional gift for retirement is a head of trails. Certainly really wanted a head of trails. This reads, thank you for your hard work, dedication, and sacrifice for the minimum of the 33rd. And I'll say that I personally work directly for Sergeant Lang, and I know that end of trails kind of sounds morbid, but everything that he's done is passed on. He goes out of his way to pass it on to junior, senior NCOs, and junior NCOs and airmen. We'll be taking it all with us.
We will now be performing a special flag folding ceremony. So please remain seated during the ceremony.
For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of American citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and the design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor, white signifies purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both at home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the Stars and Stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe and on the fin flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every American who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on our U.S. Air Force, nor the flag which we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedom that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on land and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we, as Americans, enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride